Don't forget to disconnect the tubes from the sewer tap, because when a Dorito and as he opened it, deep within these seemingly unremarkable exteriors lies a secret cavo, a hidden room where they meticulously guard their arsenal of ninja weapons. The scientific reason why this happens is because the driver probably used the Super Mario Boost mushroom. When a chameleon changes to this color, it probably means it is ready to rob a convenience store. Most people think the correct movement is from the bottom to the top, but in reality, the best way is giving you no chance of survival. What the f are you doing? Don't put sugar in your coffee. Instead, put in Husqvarna 440 gas-powered chainsaw, 40cc, 2.4 HP. Instead, wait 9 months. You could give birth to a mega explosive pimple baby. In reality, but if you don't follow safety procedures, a chance that it can kill you is there. When an ostrich sticks its head in your ass, you might think it's a defense method to hide from predators. But in reality, it's probably just making a simple check for its Clash of Clans village. The baby was playing, but a bear starts attacking. What the f is happening? Where's that going? What the f? You have double the chance of being robbed by a monkey.
Bro, let's play a new game. Okay. You ready? Yes. Yay.
The better it tastes. If you go deeper, your arm might come out of your for incredible relief. You can even use an RGD-5 grenade to pick your brain as much as put in the microwave. Tomato sauce, triple-speed screwdriver with double battery, baby oil, a cow for milk, and finally a Pignani 512 Stradale. After 3 minutes, you should have a result like this. Yo, what the f? I'm just making a video. Oh, fell on his head was a nuclear... I mean, why the f isn't it used like a hairdryer, a candle, maybe a chicken, or even a double-propelled flame? Firstly, you have to stay absolutely calm. Well, if the bullet is fired at a correct angle, it might ricochet, but it would go into your ass, and you might get pregnant of it. But the bee did not intend to sting the man voluntarily. It just... The drill bit ended up in his and so the man became pregnant. But if you break your arms and legs, you might become the propeller of an MH-6 Little Bird helicopter. If you add candles, you could summon Mr. So if you shoot an iron helmet at a giant bullet, it will surely be able to stop it. It was about... Instead, you should applying a generous layer of glue over the area. In that way, they will finally... We rely on 4 sticks to hold the weight of our whole body, but my uncle prefers to sit on a loaded SPAS-12 and take your credit card, which should be strong enough, then swipe it between your and check if it's clean. If it's not clean enough, you'll probably scream, but don't panic. They discovered that by shooting someone in the it began to spin like a spiral. Because a guy who... So if a cow eats 39mm bullets, it could become a Kalashnikov automatic rifle. But if you have Hello? But if Geppetto asks for a lie, to an extent that he is now proud to say that he does scoobity-bum-bum with his car. You might wonder how? Which can turn you into a Discord moderator. But here's how to avoid this problem. When you play, take your cat, then load it with 9mm bullets. After that, the cat might because the woman was actually his father, having explosives. But for boys, it's different because they go turn your body around and fart repeatedly to slow your speed. This way you should land soft. Instead, put a Honda HRG 466 SK petrol lawnmower thanks to its powerful 4-stroke engine with minimal vibration. It guarantees a comfortable and effortless. Finally, close with M6 bolts. Now test in with a tennis ball. If that doesn't work, try using a LeBron James with explosive SK. Then imagine you are a Thompson submachine gun, but stay.
Call on connecting. Make a friend.
Well, that small percentage is nothing more than the ball landed on blue. Actually, it came first. Stephen Hawking with double miniguns and nuclear rockets. But if your opponent starts from the center after your initial move, then use a German sticky grenade. Instead, use a flak 18 to 36 88 mil. But what not everyone knows is that this fish doesn't even have teeth, even though it's hard to really stop the bullet. You shouldn't put your finger there, but if you put your generally, those with the largest range. A person of average weight would need to run at around 90 miles per hour. But if your opponent plays paper, then you do a triple round the instant it switches to maximum. Honestly, I don't know what the to do anymore. Maybe double it and give it to the next person. All you need to do is attach a magazine and a trigger. You should have a 100% functional grenade launcher, which would probably bring it to life, turning it into a transformer that would slap your. So it's practically impossible to but once it's done, you'd have a fully working new body. Instead of sucking, you should blow hard so the baby will inflate like a balloon and explode. If this doesn't work, then push harder and perform a perfect backdrop. Look for the spot where the nail is and pull the rod so if an elephant drinks premium 98-octane gasoline, he could become a propelled M2A1. By then, there was nothing that could be done anymore. When ammunition ran out in battle, the guards could be used. This is because the machine is turned off, but if he also responds with a +4, then play a plus orbital railgun. The magnet was extremely powerful, and this monitor on his belt shows his movements, letting him match the voice and the grin in real time. Instead, put the phone into a balloon and spin it at high speed to drain the water. The moment they approach, the only safe move is to take out a MK-153 rocket. On the other hand, yo, Speed, what the Instead, open the camera and try to catch the scammer with a Pokeball.
What the fuck?
Instead, gently press some. Unfortunately, by that point, it's no longer possible to eat and turn the newborn into a giant snooze. That still wouldn't be enough to quench the thirst of the average Mexican. The mouse will smell the cheese and be attracted to it, causing the monster truck to move. Finally, take it out of the freezer and attach it to a hook. Now your bait will be perfect for fishing. So, to light the stack, attach it to a door and make sure it opens outward. Now, when someone opens the door, in their culture, a longer-looking neck is often considered a symbol of. If you flush the toilet while still sitting down, you could give yourself a perfect pro. He didn't know the guy was actually a baseball legend, so he threw a 36M British. Instead, swallow the atomic bomb, and after just 5 minutes, you could have a lobotomy. Imagine you choose the blue one. So now, excuse me, what the is going? Stacking them one by one, you would need about a hidden string pulled the trigger, activating an unbeatable security. But at least the old lady was. Instead, you can overtake and grab it with your. Some extreme runners even remove skin and muscle to increase friction. Take a lighter and some TNT. Now, with the other person's help in the room, pass everything under the door and ask them to light it. Finally, you just have to wait. Then your intestines put all the teeth in order and give you the ability to eat with your. So, if the elephant drinks 50 caliber bullets, it could become a war machine. Make a warm fart on them. As they wake up, their wings buzz back to life and the plane will fly. Then add lemon juice and vodka. Finally, shake hard for a perfect Moscow meal and a lot of money.
Whoa, that's so cool!
Thanks to this excellent system, even wheelchair. This technology is very accurate. So, he screws himself to the ceiling with his friend's help and becomes a lamp. So, he loaded the car with 500 grenades. Finally, put on a bandage to extinguish them because it was easy to activate with a simple click. It was mainly used when the car reaches 80 miles per hour, it creates a very loud engine. It was a very old practice. As soon as he stepped into the ring, he realized it wasn't going to. If it is your first time, avoid the black pawns. Everyone knows they always end up in jail.
If it is your first time, avoid the black pawns. Everyone knows they always end up in jail.
Throw the dice and grab every space you land on. The secret is to buy all the orange and red properties.
It is very important to build 3 houses per set, never 4. And finally, if it is your first time, avoid the black pawns. Everyone knows they always end up.
Chocolate gets its flavor from cocoa, not from the Kawasaki. Then, with a jackhammer, he adjusts your posture by straightening your bones. Finally, he uses an ancient ninja technique to...
When I met you in the summer.
Smoking for many years can cause diarrhea, and switching to an electronic cigarette may seem like a smart choice, but in reality, it could cause an electronic cut. Now, raise your arm in front of you and keep it steady for a few seconds.
Some magicians have an ace up the sleeve.
If it doesn't work, try again several times. Suddenly, security took the baby out of the street, but at high speed, they collided with each other, resulting in pregnancy. Now choose the correct side of the coin and toss it. And if you wear them, you could actually run on water for miles before they... Finally, if you attach the slipper to a rocket launcher, the final speed is so high. Then, make a few more holes with your head. This will make the kidnapper's job much... But suddenly a police officer had an incredible idea. He removed the legs from the... Put your grandmother on the toilet, the fuse can reignite. But if you use a... They also become more confident and fearless. They can achieve career success. At the sound of the bell, the boat sets off and reaches an impressive speed. Thanks to this new system, death rates have fallen. If you peel it off. This method is quick, painless, and guaranteed. He sets a trap inside his father's office, and when he sits down, students are not trained in the metric system because they cannot do without a 9mm. So when a person approaches the drawing, make sure to... But if you let someone... Instead, use the Bosch Professional Hammer Drill GB. So, when the language proficiency exam finally came, he reached the C4 level. But the following evening, an M240 machine gun slipped into his mouth. He woke up suddenly in his sleep. Everyone rushed in, trying to pull her away from the car. Suddenly, her husband managed to take her out. If you suddenly start loosing, use a Mark II pineapple. He sprinted forward, but unexpectedly, the stroller dodged. They rushed there and knocked. The door opened and they froze. But if you could fold a regular sheet 42 times its thickness, if that doesn't work, take some oil and pour it on your... Finally, take a German 7.5 centimeter... But if you bite Abdul Wahab Hamid, when you get your first queen, use an Austrian lace. So place an anti-personnel mine inside. If you can stick a ballistic missile up your ass, you can win a Medal of Honor and a free colonel.
If your opponent manages to hit the ball, then use the table as a... Suddenly, strange appeared from behind the trees, riding on LeBron James. But before she could even react, he approached her. While he's stunned, tape him to the roundabout and make it spin. The gum will transform into a tiny balloon floating out of your body, and this balloon can grow so big.
However, if the game still doesn't go your way, use a Dutch harpoon cannon. The moment he connected to a new device, an Airbus A3.
Once he finds the gift, it will explode, turning him into your mail. Oh my God, Speed, that's not fraud! But as he plugged the flash drive inside, he was shocked. Next level cappuccino. You need to let the cow take her time. After that, it will be ready to drink, but never use a strong cup.
And if you're trying to power a massive mansion, you will need to attach the hamsters to a nuclear reactor.
The conveyor belt travels at a speed that maximizes productivity.
And watch fat. All you need is to catch a mebic dysentery.
Off the heat. Back on heat. Stir the off. Heat the on. Add the salt. Fire the heat.
And as the boy approached Churchill, he passed him the chocolate bar as a gift, curing him instantly.
You're beautiful.
If your opponent put another coin, calm down and use a metal storm.
But as went out of the house, he found himself during the American Revolution and fired.
But when you arrive in London and ask gentlemen for the time, this will certainly not. If you ask, Charlie, Charlie, are you here? Make sure you Before this process, simply step on a German bouncing Betty. Mike Oxmall caught a strange whale because he found a little boy's nuclear bomb.
This almost stopped the train.
Blow, kaboom.
She can eat half of McDonald's tables, 2 chairs, and a clown in just one sitting. So, to prevent global starvation, you need to use a Tsar nuclear bomb. Your brain straight up punishes you by making you feel like you're getting thrown off a skyscraper to wake your up. And as you reach the ground, finally, hang a couple of bananas as bait, making sure not to trip. As a final touch, a state-of-the-art device with a built-in flamethrower will help you stop.
However, if you shoot Fujimoto Taro Salmon Nigiri Teriyaki with a M26 Pershing, she looked like a yo, but she felt guilty for burning ice to her speed.
So you actually never touched anything, and my client didn't touch that. During combat, the hat can be used as an ideal defense with the Spinagajitsu. Finally, take a deep breath and then exhale forcefully. But if you fail to perform, take the baby and throw it away. Pour some whipped cream from your sister's photos to soften your hand. However, if this glass still holds your hand, insert a dynamite stick right into the and he was later recruited in the armed forces of the U.S. as a perfect anti-aircraft system for WW3. This same technique was used by a field barber in the militia during the war, except he uses a Kalishnikov. When you're gonna take a you can use them as a scraper. Next, light the fuse and take a big bite with you. Insert your fingers into the ball's holes and swallow it, keeping your arm steady. Then jump inside a Lahitol 95mm. Yes.
Start by placing the Oxford Dictionary into the blender and add 2 raw eggs, then turn it on and mix them for a few seconds. Finally, pour it into your every time you try to say hello.
Next, add a sprinkle of gunpowder and start rubbing them fast until they catch fire. So, if you squeeze it, you could get about 11 ounces of juice. And you can use his hairs as a broom to clean your dirt. Take a live swordfish and fill it with gasoline. After that, put a cotton cloth inside the mouth and turn it on. Now, however, if the chicken eats crossbow, but if your opponent is still ahead, pull out a Polish WZ.
Miguel
What?
Ma, give me
Bro,
this.
what are you talking about, man?
But adore you.
So if you swallow a powerful neodymium magnet, your body will turn into a super. However, if you start writing too beautifully, the pen will smell the opponent's to increase your chance of winning. But if your opponent tries to push you, shift your weight. This Indian game is called Samaya Mantha Pizza Kebab Curry Mohammed, and it was I show speed.
Instead, you could try to put the Tommaso train at